Hi, my name is Tiffany Hernandez, and this is my video on affordability. Who will benefit from loan forgiveness? The people who are going to benefit from loan forgiveness are the people who are in immediate debt. As society continues, individuals still choose to continue their education. So if we're not going to focus on the root of the problem, which is the increase in tuition costs, then unfortunately loan forgiveness is just going to be a temporary Band-Aid within society, getting those individuals out of debt momentarily as new generations accrue current debt, because tuition is not moving. FGCU is one of the few colleges that tuition has remained stagnant at. That is definitely not the case in different states. With decreasing federal and state support and maintaining flat tuition rates, how can colleges and universities sustain operations without additional funds? Ultimately, I feel as society continues to change and inflation rates continue to rise, we are going to have to focus less on facilities within these universities and maybe turn towards more public online virtual platforms to take stock in our education and continue our education for the work field. Just as education is consistently changing, so is society. So there needs to be a bigger focus on adaptability within the workforce. And that may start from the education itself, possibly adapting to a virtual and on-campus mode, or turning towards more a virtual student capacity. I have always been an online student. I've never been in person on-campus student. So it may look like that for future generations. What is the responsibility of future employers to support college graduates? I would definitely say keeping salaries comparable with the cost of tuition. Employers are obviously aware of what it costs to go back to school to continue a person's education. That is why some positions have the requirement of having the associate's degree, having the bachelor's degree. Excuse me. With that being said, I feel like employers also need to keep salaries comparable with that known fact. You know that students are accruing anywhere from $25,000 to $45,000, sometimes $50,000 worth of student loan debt. So in turn, salaries should be comparable with what students are having to deal with upon their graduation, upon their exit from school. Should universities consider differential tuition? This is a very impartial opinion, because I do agree that certain degrees should cost more money only because the cost of the education has to be more. For example, a law degree, to be a doctor, the cost to educate students in those fields, and in addition to the length of education to be in that career, is more than what it is to become a teacher. Although a teacher is always continuing their education, it's definitely not the same. Doctors too have to continue their education, and to become that, they had double the amount of education that they had to induce. But on the flip side of that, are we going to say, well, educators are not important? Every individual career plays a very important role within society. So I think that is a very sticky topic. In my opinion, the TED Talk by Mr. Sajay Samel, where he had suggested income-based tuition, I feel like that would better encompass the student debt crisis that we are facing. To think that we are $1.7 trillion in debt is just absurd. If we don't educate ourselves, then what is our future going to look like? If people don't go back to school and seek these specialized careers, how will future generations live? And they're being penalized by these large debts. It's a vicious circle. The income-based tuition could possibly veer us in a different direction, in the sense of we're charging individuals what they can afford versus charging individuals for a gym facility or having, a luxurious campus. I just think it's something that needs to be definitely researched more. And again, I don't know if differential income based, I don't know what the answer is, but I definitely think that no one service serves less of a part in the everyday community. That's all for today's post. Thank you guys. Bye.